Namaste, hi there, beautiful souls. I'm Gabrielle, retired medium in Germany, and I like to share some of my otherworldly experiences and insights. As I already told, I'm a QHHT practitioner also, and I really love that work because being a medium too, I very often can see what the client is describing while they're under the hypnosis and visiting other lives, other planets, other levels of being and incarnation and whatever. And I'm in the picture right with them, and I really love it. It's like watching a film, and it's not my own Gabrielle little me ego story. It's the story of someone else. And so I really love the work, and I love Dolores for bringing this to all of us as one of the many wonderful tools that are appearing right now to help all of us on our journey. And I tried a hypnosis session for myself before I started the training, because I already had, for quite some money, bought a workshop on hypnosis with another man, and I felt wrong there because it was the guy came from the TV and show hypnosis scene. He was starting to use it for the good, trying to show people how they can heal themselves, but it was more or less still a very material level. So that kind of stuff, you see people being hypnotized on stage, on TV, and what do they do with this wonderful tool? They just let the people think they are, by suggestion, you are a chicken, and they do wuk, 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 wuk. Okay, I got that's a very, you can call it magical or mighty power tool to reach your subconscious, which this is another name. Dolores also got the information. It's more than that, and she already felt that, and I also feel that. That's why she started calling it more or less the higher self, which opens up a little bit more to other dimensions and higher realms. I like that because this word transpires more of what it's all about. And I noticed also as a practitioner, always the same energy when I talk to the subconscious. So all the subconsciousnesses are united. It is one big family or field, and they all know each other. That's why also happened to Dolores after the session, working for the highest good of the client. After the session was done, there started coming in, well, she didn't know who they were, and they called them they, and they addressed directly Dolores, and they said something like, "Hey Dolores, more or less, here's information for you that you will put into a book and publish it to get it out to all seeking souls," something like that. And she was startled. I was startled as well, as I was addressed for my the first time in a hypnosis session with the client. And yes, I had many experiences, and I really liked it because I felt the energy, and the energy felt positive and good, as I was trained to always check on the energy as a medium. And it was uplifting. It was always good and advice and helpful. So that's how the light works. And I had kind of a contract after I experienced my own first hypnosis session, which taught me a lot. I was ready and I said, okay, whatever it costs, this is the right hypnosis training. I'm going for it. So I started the training, and at the end of the training, you get the instruction manual, the papers, and you sign them. So you have a contract, even on this side of the veil, on paper. I signed it. And Dolores put in there some of her wishes. She never wanted to have this done online. That's why I'm not doing it online. I feel responsible for the clients, and I want to really sit in the body in 3D realm beside them, to watch over them and take care, um, so that everything works out well and fine for the highest good of the client. And I don't know, I saw once people doing it online, and the person was under hypnosis, lying in the bed, and I could see a little bit of the room because of the camera angle, and the door was a little bit open, and I saw the tail of a cat coming in. And then the cat rubbed on the bed, and the person in the hypnosis was irritated because she was in the middle of some scenery in another life, and suddenly she felt the strange vibration of the purring cat. And she said, "Oh, there's some strange vibration here. I don't know what it is. And there's some noise and sound. It's very disturbing." And luckily, the practitioner had seen the cat's tail also. And he associated, or he was in the picture and knew it was the cat, like me. Um, he said, "Oh, it's only your cat that came in." So the person was relieved and wasn't frightened or in fear. What's going to happen now? There's a strange energy. So you have to always make sure that your client really is safe. And that's why I can understand that wish from Dolores, and I respect it, no problem. It happened to me because I'm like every good soul with a divine spark. You always want to help, but your discernment has to grow where help is really needed and where you do something which will not take or will not grow into something fruitful when you help, so-called help. There was a person that lied to me. Her fault, not my problem, but I wasn't aware. I'm human. And she was very much after getting some special thing from me. She wanted the papers, and she was so poor, she had no money. And I tried to resist, but I fell for it, and I tried to train her. She already knew about hypnosis, and she said she's doing guided meditations and things like that. And everybody told her always she has such a nice voice, so comforting for hypnosis. And I gave the papers to her without her having Dolores's training, and this was against Dolores's wish, which I had more or less assigned as a contract on the paper. And even if Dolores is now on the other side of the veil, this contract also exists on higher dimensions. And then later on, just 2 weeks after I did this wrong thing and did not respect Dolores's wish, I found out that this woman suddenly had 5,000 euro to buy a course in healing with angel energy or whatever, something like that. And to me, she had said, "Oh, I have no money and I want it so much," and blah, 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 blah. And I even gave it to free for her and trained her for free, and thought I was helping. And The last exercise should have been that she's doing the hypnosis on me as a test. And she is German, and she translated the English instruction from Dolores into German. And when she brought me under, there was a step where she translated mind into the German word for, oh, that's so difficult with the languages, for just the brain, the thinking part. And I shrieked like that within the hypnosis, and I knew, and the thought was there, this is wrong. She hasn't got it. So I experienced myself that my help was the wrong thing. She brought me under, everything else worked, and when I came back, I told her, whoa, you got this totally wrong. In the hypnosis, we're not working with the brain. We are working with the subconscious or higher self, the part of your consciousness that has the images and pictures, which we use in our dreams as symbols. So, there was a total misunderstanding. But I can only share and give, and what people do with it is not my responsibility. You are responsible what you do with what you got. And you can only act on the level of your consciousness, your vibration state. And tomorrow you know better. So I already knew, wow, I did something wrong, and I knew it. There was nothing I could talk around the bush. I knew it. And right at the moment when I confronted myself with that experience and the insight I had from it, and I don't make a good figure in this story, I know. Well, that's ego. You have to accept it and love it too. Dolores appeared from the other side of the veil, and because I am a medium, I knew exactly, sitting on my couch, thinking about the whole story, I knew, wow, Dolores is here. And she confronted me, rightfully, and I knew it. So there was nothing I could do, nothing I could say. I wasn't even able or not yet ready to say, sorry, Dolores, I did wrong. I did not respect your will, and I understand and know now. Please forgive me. Something like that. In all these situations, I really recommend use Ho'oponopono, the Hawaiian ritual for healing and forgiveness. It's the best tool I know, and it works for me wonderfully. But I wasn't even able to come to that point and say that. I was just being confronted with Dolores, and I knew she's right and I'm wrong, to keep it simple. And I didn't know what to say. And suddenly, there popped out of behind me, like the Jack in the Box, this golden dragon that I already encountered in the tunnels beneath the Bosnian pyramids. This golden dragon was so gigantic, and I was so small, and Dolores as well. And the dragon answered instead of me what I could not say. It just simply said, without anger, without any emotion, very neutrally, it said, everybody deserves a chance. And Dolores got even smaller, and then she went away. And I thought, wow, this dragon saved my ass, more or less. I could have asked for forgiveness. That would have been the right thing. But there was also that rebellic part of my soul that wanted to help from the right motive. That the person abused me and it went wrong is not my fault. So there's one big lesson also here. It is not your fault. You are a work in progress. You are the growing divine consciousness in this bodily vessel. And you think of yourself as I. This is your bigger you. So all the worlds are coming closer now. This was promised long time ago by all the ancestors. It's going more into unity. Watch your thoughts, watch your emotions, and watch your actions. And if you did wrong, then acknowledge it without putting guilt on yourself or the other involved party. Use forgiveness ritual, the Ho'oponopono, saying, I am sorry, without putting guilt, just neutrally, I am sorry. Then ask for forgiveness, please forgive me. And then the magic happens. The third sentence is, thank you. And you will feel the relief in your heart if you can really feel it. That's why you're made to say it more often than just one time. Say it as often until you feel it. Thank you, you only say after you received the gift. You're not saying it before the gift is still wrapped and you didn't even know what's in the box. You say it after you received it. So by saying thank you, you acknowledge to every conscious atom in the field, in you, around you, and in all the universe, that you received forgiveness. And at the level of the soul, even if you dislike a person and they did you wrong, and you're sure that they did you wrong, you're not only projecting, but I told you it's always you. Consciousness is you and me, the other, your neighbor, the difficult person, they're all your teachers. It is you incarnated as something separate to teach you what you couldn't see in yourself. The anger of your neighbor. Maybe you suppress some anger. Where is anger in you? Maybe you were taught anger even in childhood. And so you're repeating old patterns. And it gets boring, always the same story. Oh, I have problems, I lost money, I can't find a job, blah, 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 blah. Why would a soul incarnate into a life that's creating rejection in every corner, wherever you go? Well, this soul, like the little soul in the story of the little soul who chose to learn forgiveness and needed to harm someone, to get harmed by someone, to learn forgiveness. In this case, you are after the acknowledgement and the love and friendship of others. And rejection shows that you have to find it maybe within yourself, because you are divine, you are light love, you are consciousness, you are a part of God. We all together form what is called God, and it's only a name. And Dolores once asked these they that told her things in the lessons, well, how can I call you? I always also ask nowadays if I encounter any other being or life form, what's your name? And they told Dolores, you can call us Bob, doesn't matter. It's frequency, energy, and vibration. It's more music than a name, logic, words, and letters. It's pictures, it's all the creativity. It's dancing, it's movement, it's light, it's shadow, it's painting, it's music, it's geometry. Hey, one other idea from my little ego eye. I'm so interested in sound, and I would advise you to have a look at cymatics. That's about sound and how to make sound visible. Maybe you heard of the experiment. You can put a plate of metal and on there you put sand, and then you stroke with the bow of a violin. That's creating frequency, and the metal plate will vibrate. Nowadays, they built some kind of instrument, a device, still quite some money to pay for it, but it makes sound visible in water, and it's called cymoscope. If you tone vowels like A or O, there are these incredible, beautiful patterns that appear in water or even on the metal plate with the sand. If you tone low frequencies like lower tones, then you have appear the Celtic cross, which is like this, the four same length lines within the one circle of unity consciousness, more or less. These are frozen information. Sacred geometry is nothing else but frozen information. Give it a try. Stare for a longer period of time at the yin and yang symbol. You will notice that they start to move. Everything is moving. Energy is not standing still. We have the frozen pictures, all these old cathedrals. They are so wonderfully built. They are trying to make sound visible. And now they can do it with the cymoscope. And you find all the patterns that are known in all the cultures. If you move up the frequency and have higher frequency, even the high-pitched notes that our ears here in 3D cannot hear, these patterns get more complicated, and they open up like blossoming flowers. You get in the end these complicated Tibetan mandalas. So, and it's just wonderful to look at it. And I once heard Terence McKenna, a very heavy ayahuasca experiencer, but a very knowledgeable man. And I even like his playing with the intellect in speech and finding new words and describing and going off in the pictures. He once said that he met some kind of, he called them mechanical elves, on the other side, under ayahuasca, and they were opening their mouth and they were toning a tone like, oh, just an O. And he saw coming out of their mouth these spheres or elliptoids that he could only describe as looking like Fabergé eggs, these I think it's jewelry, and it's heavily ornated and glittering and gold and looking precious and wonderful and wondrous. And he saw them making different vowels, and while they were singing and speaking, all these spheres, these Fabergé eggs came out of their mouth. And he was just in awe, like I am often in awe in the otherworldly realms when I get shown something. He was just looking like that. And they noticed his awe, and they said, well, you can do that as well. And he never thought of that. Have a look at the cymoscope and look what we create with our words. So please, watch more over your words. Use positive words. Don't rant about everything that's wrong in this world. It's not helpful. It's just creating more of that what you don't want. Create more of what you want by focusing on the good, the positive, the light, what you speak, what you think, and what you feel. Be as happy as you can. Bye there. Blessings.